Hi, everyone. Katie Sutton here, intuitive channel and founder of Zen Within Academy and the New Earth Now School, actually live with your Zen Withins'day Update. I'm trying out going live on YouTube. This is a little bit of an edge for me to record this live and not edit it or do anything, but here I am. So if you hear background noise, then you'll just have to deal with it. So let's chat a little bit about what's going on right now. It's kind of intense. The energies are really asking us to let go and to purge. And one of our themes from last month was this, or from November, it's still November, was trust the process. And I feel like that's really what we're working on right now. But a lot of us are working through a significant amount of resistance within that process. And so that's kind of what I want to talk with you about today. So, we're moving towards December. Y'all are going to get 2 videos from me this week because I'm going to share my energy update on Friday. And, we've got a lot of light that is going to come into the planet to activate us into the energies of 2024. December is kind of like the cosmic wheel turning towards the next year. I don't really celebrate New Year so much. I celebrate winter solstice because that's really the time where that calendar flips over and we move into the new energies. But right now, we're really being asked to let go and make space. And the way that's presenting for me is I've got some expectations of the way I thought some things were going to be in my life that my guides and my team are really, really pushing me to let go of right now. And it's really challenging because my inner child has a different view of what she thought was going to happen when she came here onto this planet and how certain things were going to be. And she's kind of digging her heels in because she's afraid of what might happen if we let go of that quote unquote mission and step into a new mission. And this is more in my personal life and not so much about my work, but eventually it will impact my work because everything always does, because I teach what I live. And so I'm noticing as I'm going into session with others that this is an important theme for them as well, that they're really working this energy of non-attachment and letting go. And that a lot of the people that I'm working with, their inner children have kind of dug their heels in and are not allowing them to let go of, whatever it is that they're being asked to release. And the thing is we need to make a lot of space right now. I have an almost kind of urgent need and desire to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff in my house. And I'm a Taurus. And so that's kind of a big deal because we like our creature comforts and we like our things. And there will be things that I won't be able to part with, but I'm also being really guided that there is a need for me to make physical space so that I can create energetic space for what wants to come in next. And so these are the energies right now, right? We're being asked to purge, we're being asked to let go, we're being asked to release expectations and attachments and to trust the process. All of those things, I believe, are things that are quite challenging for us humans. In our world, in our society, we're really not conditioned or taught how to let go, how to release. We're really taught the opposite. We're taught how to hold on, how to protect, how to guard, how to be in that fearful place. And so some of you might be really feeling pushed to your limits right now. You might be feeling really, really triggered right now. And, what I would invite you to do is to create as much space as possible for those triggered parts to speak to you. My journaling practice is really important right now. My sitting and being in quiet contemplation and connection to what's happening inside of me is really important right now. Moving, even though I'm in a lot of resistance to moving because I'm in resistance to things moving and things changing, is important right now. And I know how to take care of myself, but when these resistant parts are present, you may find yourself going into behaviors that are less than serving for you, right? You may be spending a lot of time scrolling. You may be spending a lot of time just kind of vegging out on the couch. And sometimes we need those moments. We need those days for our being to kind of take a break. But we also have to notice where we're in a kind of functional freeze response, and we need to take steps to kind of gently pull ourselves out of that energy. And so yesterday I woke up in that frequency, and I knew I had had a cancellation in the morning, and I had kind of a slower morning than usual. And I just kind of leaned into talking to my little girl. And, what came forward is she's got all these expectations about what she wanted something to be, and it's not that. And it really hasn't ever been that in my life. And I just kept saying to her, I'm sorry that it's not different. And I just kind of kept apologizing to her that what she wanted and what she expected when she came onto this planet is not what she is experiencing. And, I talk a lot about the frequency of surrender. And when we surrender, that there is a opportunity for us to kind of let something go with completion, meaning that we basically say to the universe, okay, I guess this is never going to be what I want it to be. I guess this is never going to change. And it kind of sounds a little bit like we're giving up. And that is only a mental story. Okay. You're not necessarily giving up on your desires and giving up on what you truly want, but you are letting go of the way you expected it to anchor and being open and creating space for a new version of what you desired to anchor in. So if that's a relationship, you're letting go of the expectations that you had on the existing relationship, maybe letting go of that relationship completely and creating space for a new version, a new relationship, and a new imagined way of how that might come into being to start to anchor in your life. And so this is not easy, my friends. This is a challenging energy. And I always know when we have a big release like this, that we have a huge expansion coming. It's like somebody pulling back the cosmic bow and arrow or the slingshot, and we're kind of in that place of creating that tension. Right? That tension that you're feeling in your body is us pulling that cosmic bow and arrow back so that we can kind of launch it into the next stratosphere as we move into December and move into next year. So, this is a really important time for you to really listen to what it is that you need and what it is that you want, and really try to make space for all of those things to come into fruition in the coming months, right? So really just focus inward on what it is that you're desiring and what it is that needs to be released, and do your best to not go into resistance. Now, if you do find that resistant part, just like I found a resistant part in my inner child yesterday, don't shame yourself and don't shame that part. So honor that part, but also make space for that resistance to begin to be released. And the way that you do that is by bringing in love, right? Love. And I quite like the frequency of grace and the frequency of compassion. So before we close, I thought I would bring through just a little activation to help you all move through this energy and to create some space for those parts that might be digging their heels in or a little bit fearful of change or just struggling. And so I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if you can do so, if you have the capacity to do so, if you have the space to do so. Certainly, if you're driving, please do not close your eyes. And I'm going to ask you to drop into your body for just a moment. And I want you to scan your body from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet and notice where you feel a holding in the body. And wherever you feel that holding, I actually want you to draw more constriction and more attention to that place. So for me, I feel it kind of in my throat and my heart. So I'm going to tuck my shoulders back and I'm going to tuck my elbows in close to my body. And I'm going to put a little constriction in my heart. You can also do this with your hands by placing pressure or grabbing a part of the body that feels stuck. And the reason why I'm asking you to put more constriction in this stuck place is because when we focus our attention, and make sure you keep breathing through this, when we focus our attention on those stuck places and we bring more support to them, we can actually guide our body into releasing that constriction. And so just continue to hold that. Just keep breathing and hold that tension for 3 more deep breaths. And after that 3rd breath, you're going to release everything on the exhale. And I want you to imagine that that constricted energy is beginning to break up. And we're going to open a connection with the earth, and we're going to send that constricted energy from the body down into the earth. And you can imagine this like a brick wall, and the bricks are just falling out and down and into the earth. You can visualize it however you like, but just allow that resistance energy in the body to begin to release. And then I want you to feel underneath that physical resistance and see if you can find the emotional or energetic resistance that exists underneath that physical resistance that you just worked through. There may be anger, there may be fear, there may be a feeling of anxiety, there may be a feeling of confusion. And I just want you to notice how that resistance is presenting itself to you. What emotion is there? And so we're doing the same thing that we just did with the body. We're bringing attention to the resistance. We're bringing awareness to the resistance. We're validating, in a sense, the resistance so that it can begin to release. And I want you to take some deep breaths. And the mantra that I like to use when I find resistance is, okay, I see you. I'm sorry. I'm holding space for you. You can take as long as you need. I'm here for you. I'm holding you in grace and compassion. I'm sorry that you're struggling. I'm sorry that you're scared. I'm sorry that you're angry. Just whatever aligns with you, just speak to this part of you that's holding. And then I want you to call on your connection to source. That could be to the angelic realm. It could be to a guide, well and healthy ancestor. It could be to anybody that is a helper to you. It could be to God. And I want you to begin to ask for the frequency of grace to be delivered or filtered through your experience. And so the being that is coming to me that would like to help, that I'm going to call in, is actually Kuan Yin. She's one of my favorite divine feminine vessels, and she carries compassionate, fierce grace as a frequency. And so I'm inviting her in. And if you would like to work with her, you can feel free to invite her in as well. And just ask for a cosmic dispensation of this energy of grace to begin to flood your body and to begin to surround these parts that are struggling or suffering or in resistance or in fear. Just welcome that frequency of grace through all the parts of your being here. And you can even ask for that frequency of grace to be offered to a situation or a relationship where you feel stuck. Or maybe there's something that you're feeling like needs to move forward. Like maybe you're trying to bring in a new job or a new, really anything, and you need the frequency of grace to help to release what isn't serving to make space for the new. And so you're just going to welcome that frequency of grace into your life, into your body, into wherever it's most needed. And you're just going to breathe. And it's totally okay if you don't feel anything happening. Sometimes grace, this is a very subtle frequency. You may also want to say to the universe, I don't know how to move beyond this and I need help. And that might be part of your prayer of asking for this grace. Show me the way, show me how to move through this, show me my next step, show me what to do. Maybe there's a prayer here as well. And the last step is I'd like you to imagine that you are seated in front of a sacred space, a sacred altar. It could be even a sacred place in nature, somewhere that it feels very, very special. And I'd like you to imagine that the thing that you are struggling with, that is feeling difficult or painful, that you can offer up that energy, that emotion, that pain to this sacred altar. And you're literally laying this struggle down. And you may have many things to put on this sacred altar. And as you offer each of these energies or situations up to this altar, you are making space in your body. You are creating a void in your body. And I want you to choose a frequency. It could be that same frequency of grace. It could be love. It could be compassion. It could just be pure divine source light. I want you to choose a frequency that you'd like to bring into your body to fill that space that you've just created. And the reason why I'm asking you to do this is because the universe hates a void. And so if you leave a void space, it's going to get filled with things that you probably don't want. And so when we give something up to the divine to manage for us, which is really what I'm having you do by placing it on this metaphorical altar, we create space for the divine to support us in that situation, but we also create space within our bodies so that we can receive light and love and grace. And so just take a deep breath. If there's emotion present, then I'm just going to invite you to honor that. In no way, when we offer emotions or pain up onto this altar, do we negate it or pretend that it doesn't exist. This is really a sacred process of saying to the universe, to God, to our helpers, I'm struggling and I need help. Good. I can feel the energetic shift that's already happening for myself and for many of you as you're doing this. And so then focus your energy back into your body. Come back into the now. Connect to the earth. Get grounded. You may want to call all of the parts of you back home that have gotten somewhat disassociated while you've been in this resistant place. And just welcome your light back into your body. Feel your shoulders opening, your heart opening. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So feel free to come back to this video as many times as you need over the next few weeks leading up to the solstice. As I said, I'll be back on Friday with my energy update and more information about what's coming in December. We've got some really important themes that are coming in that are going to really propel us into 2024. And for those of you that are in Charlotte, I have a workshop this weekend on Saturday at, I think it's at 3:30 at Okra Yoga with my friend Grace Millsap. She's going to be doing a slow flow class, a really gentle yoga class, and my partner and I will be bringing sound healing and I'm sure some channeled little tidbits and meditations as well. And our Peru trip is live on our website, so I'll link that below this video as well. And I'll see you on Friday with the next round of information for December. All right, I hope this serves. Comment and let me know what's going on for you. If this supported you, just check in, let me know what's happening with you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your week and invite that grace forward. All right, bye everyone.